To the Belleville Squad Club social media accounts, episode 40 of the Lancer Conversation, a big one for number 40 as we wind down our spring sports season. We're continuing on with playoff week and a big one coming up, the regional championship for boys volleyball against Belleville West, joined by one of the players on that Belleville East volleyball team, the senior August Werner. Thanks for taking the time to join me.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, Steven.
Thanks for coming on. I know you've had a big last 2 years, and the first thing I want to talk about is your commitment to Damon University to play volleyball next year, D1. What was that process like for you?
It was kind of a weirder process. Recruiting in men's volleyball is kind of under the radar. It's kind of difficult. Men's volleyball is kind of a weird thing to really get into. But Damon University, they ranked top 20 this year. Really awesome program for D1 volleyball, and I'm really excited. I went there on my visit. Just kind of fell in love with the place, fell in love with the coaching and all the players. Everyone was super awesome, super nice people. And not only were they nice people, they were awesome at volleyball and knew a lot about volleyball.
I mean, for you, I know obviously you get to play D1, but it's kind of weird because I know you're going all the way up to the northeast area in New York. That's got to be kind of different for you.
Yeah, so I'm going to Buffalo, New York, so I'm going to get used to the snow. I think they got around 8 feet this year, something crazy like that. When I went on my visit, fortunately, it had all melted at that point. Yeah. So it was. I didn't get to experience it yet.
Yeah. So you took visits. I know we'll talk about the one you had over the summer at Penn State. What was that like being in that camp?
It was really awesome. So there was about 400 kids there, but it was just really just an awesome environment. Just volleyball all day long for 3 days, and on the third day, we just scrimmaged against the little teams of six, and my team ended up finishing first. So it was really awesome.
Yeah. For you, how did you start playing volleyball? Because I know you've told me I think it kind of was like around middle school.
Oh, yeah. So both my parents played volleyball at MOBAP. And my whole family, at least on my dad's side, they've played volleyball. They've been into volleyball in the space. They're referees and stuff. I was always a big baseball guy. And so I balanced playing baseball and volleyball during my freshman year. Yeah. And then, so I started playing volleyball in about 8th grade, I believe it was. But I never was serious. It was always my second or third sport. It was always baseball was number one. And then after my freshman year, because of COVID, I didn't play. I just kind of fell out of love with it, so I didn't play baseball anymore. Yeah. And I was like, whatever, I'll play volleyball. And then that summer, after my freshman year, I put in a lot of work and got way better. And I was fortunate enough to become a starter my sophomore year on varsity.
What's it like having two parents, for both of your parents, and you just mentioned they played volleyball. What's it like, because I'm sure they teach you a lot, tell you a lot, and help you get better?
Yeah, it is true. A lot of times it is very frustrating because I know what I'm doing wrong a lot of times, and having to hear from two other people tell me like over and over again, it's just like, I understand, I know. But a lot of times it is really nice because a lot of stuff I don't see, and I don't realize that I'm early, I'm a step early, and they're like, you need to wait, and they're just little things like that. It's helpful to be able to break down my game and just talk about volleyball with them after games and stuff like that. We're at home.
And volleyball just continues to grow in your family. Now you got your sister who's a sophomore, will be a junior next year playing volleyball, and then your little brother who's in middle school playing volleyball. I mean, it's kind of, I'm sure that household gets pretty competitive at times.
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of times Ashton will end up crying because he gets so upset about not winning. He is one of the most naturally gifted athletes I've ever seen. He's going to be a 6th grader now. He was already getting playing time on the A team in 8th grade, with the 8th grade team for middle school. He is just awesome at volleyball. He understands the game at a very high level. And it's not just volleyball. Like for talk about baseball, I don't know if you know what this is, but the pitching ninja is he was posted by the pitching ninja when he was like 4 years old because he was framing pitches as a catcher already. Like he just every sport he's ever played, he's just picked it up like that.
You think he's better at baseball than you then?
No, I was really, really good at that. Okay. Well, he also catched, I pitched.
Okay.
So, but he didn't hit as good as I did. I was really good at hitting too.
So with all that, I know your parents help you. Do you help your sister and your brother? And like you guys have like conversations all the time about games?
Oh, for sure. My sister doesn't like hearing what I have to say a lot of times, even though I'm right. So I don't tend to give her as much. But Ashton really Like whenever I tell him little stuff, he'll just
Yeah.
it's just awesome. I tell him like, hey, like, you know, you need to turn your body, and he just does it instantly. And he's 11 years old, and he's just super coachable, super awesome, and he's super competitive. Addison's also super competitive, but I think she just doesn't like hearing stuff from me. So,
Yeah.
But we have a court in our backyard we all play in all the time. Like even after games and practices, I'll come home and we'll just play we'll play short court or we'll play like 2-on-1 volleyball. It's like fun little games in the backyard.
For you, because I know you mentioned you started playing volleyball middle school, 8th grade year. Did you always start on that outside, or like where'd you start at playing volleyball? What position?
I was always an outside, so an outside hitter, as if you guys don't know, it's just basically doing everything. It's passing, serving, hitting. It's typically your all-around best player. Except when I first started out, until my junior year, I was god awful at passing. So I was just not. I was good, but I was never like anything special. And I still think I'm just a pretty good player. But my sophomore year specifically, I realized, hey, I'm about done growing. I'm capped out around 6'1", but I was like, what's going to take my game to the next level?
Yeah.
It's going to be the passing and ball control aspect. That's the part I don't have. And so my sophomore year for varsity, I played right side. And then I went that summer, and I was used to be an outside on that club team. I was our go-to guy on the outside. They switched me to right side because I did so well that season. So I made the AAU All-American that nationals run. We got fifth in nationals that year with me on the right side. And that just helped my game explode because I became so much more versatile. I'm able to hit on both sides now with a lot of competitiveness. And it just feels really good all around the court now. So me going from outside to right side back to outside now, after I've developed that ball control aspect, like my game just exploded.
Yeah, sophomore to junior, do you think ball control is like the biggest thing that you worked on? Was there any other like little things you worked on to help you get better between sophomore and junior year?
It was just overall consistency. I put a lot of work in, specifically into serve receive, and just really coming with a competitive serve, attack, and being competitive on passing. I just became so much more well-rounded and consistent. I no longer had lapses where I would just go back and miss 4 serves a game. I always serve. I think my serving percentage was about 70-something% that year, and my sophomore year was like 60.
Yeah.
Like so, it just my game just exploded. I just became so much more consistent in my game. Unfortunately, I came down with a severe case of patella tendonitis that year. And so I lost a little bit of my bounce. I am getting it back slowly. I'm about where I was. I'm almost to where my vertical was at my sophomore year.
Okay.
I'm almost back there, but it's getting better.
All these years playing volleyball, who's been probably your biggest motivation?
My biggest motivation?
Yeah.
It probably was losing to a Fallon 9 times in a row.
Okay, but I'm asking who though?
Who?
Yeah.
My biggest
like
motivator?
Like a person, yes.
Oh, like my hero in volleyball?
Yes, we can talk about O'Fallon in a bit.
Definitely Will Paget. My sophomore year, so
That was his senior year.
yeah, it was his senior year. He kind of took me underneath his wing and really just showed me what it took to be someone who wasn't as naturally gifted. And just like, I mean, he's about 6'2".
Yeah.
He's not like some like insane, ginormous athlete, right? You know what I mean? He just worked so hard and just showed me that no matter what, if you work hard enough, you're going to end up getting to where you want to be. And so that kind of inspired me just to play that gritty, just, in my opinion, what we're known for now, Belleville East, is that gritty, just dog mentality volleyball. I think he kind of started that his senior year, and it just helped our program explode.
Yeah, you're starting to talk about a relationship with teammates. What's it like this year playing with your teammates? Because I know you guys talk about it all the time. It's a lot of fun playing on that court, on and off too.
Yeah, it's very helpful. A lot of those dudes have played with each other every single year since they were like 12, and so I've just I've known them my whole lives. I went to middle school with Keegan. I went to elementary school with Camden. I've known Jack. I played soccer with Jack and Garrett Byers when I was 3 years old. Like, I've just known these kids my whole life, and it's been really easy to kind of meld in with them, and our team chemistry is really, I think it's just apparent on the court.
Coming into this year, you guys lost last year to O'Fallon in a tough 2-set loss in that sectional semifinal. What was the mindset? What was your emotions, your thoughts right after that game ended?
We choked. Simply, they did not out-volleyball us. And in my personal opinion, we've had a better roster than them the last 3 years. It was my sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. But we could not handle the mental aspect of playing them. A lot of times I would look, like in the sectional game, I looked to my left and right, and just the team just looked so nervous. And so, like, not scared, but almost timid. Like, it wasn't like they were frightened. They were frightened of having to, like, make it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like, especially coming into this year, I think Camden will be the first guy to tell you his mentality is just completely changed. He's completely changed our team. It's just that one switch of Camden switching his mentality has completely transformed our team this year. And he's really the backbone of our defense and service.
Yes. Now looking to this year, I want to talk about the 3 tournaments because you took home first in our own tournament. And
awesome win against St. Xavier.
Yes, we had to run through Parkway South and St. Xavier, 2 very tough opponents. And then you go up to Chicago, you take home 6th and 7th. I mean, you look at those 3, obviously it's not 3 first-place finish. That's the goal. But they were pretty good finishes against very good competition.
I believe we finished higher than we were seeded in both those tournaments.
Yes.
That first tournament we were in, you said we got 6th, right?
6th, yes. That was the Wheaton-Warrenville tournament.
In my personal opinion, that is kind of skewed. I'm not going to say that it's because of the referees, but specifically in our first gold tournament match, we kind of got screwed over in that match. We lost to Lincoln West. We were not ready to play the first set. We lost that one. But we should have won the second set. We deserved that win, but we unfortunately did not get that win. So then I think the best we could have got was 5th, right? We ended up getting 6th after that point.
Yeah.
We had to play 2 really tough opponents. I think it's the 14th and 15th seed in the state, Wheaton North and Wheaton-Warrenville South. So we played 2 awesome teams. We beat one, and we barely lost to another.
In 3 sets, yep.
I'm going to be honest with you, that last game that we played that we lost, we were all just gassed. I think if we play them again, I think we're going to have an opportunity to play them again. I think we're going to get them.
Well, you mentioned, too, both second days of those tournaments, you take on Glenbard West and Lincoln Way
Glenbard
West.
That was a tough fight. We should have won that second set, too. We sold.
Yeah, but those 2 sets, they're so lopsided. I think you lost by double digits in both of those sets. And then you look at these sets from the rest of those days in both tournaments, you're either winning or you're right there with them. I think it's kind of a slow start was kind of the issue in those 2.
It just seems like we're not really a morning team.
Yeah. Well, you're playing at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
We won't have to be doing that in the playoffs, unfortunately.
To be honest with you, I really think it's just the first day wasn't as competitive of matches for us. We kind of rolled through those teams on the first day. And I think that first set was kind of like a wake-up call. We were just kind of like, okay, now we got to play. And I think we responded quite well. In my opinion, both those sets we should have won. Kind of just sold ourselves. That was a Hall of Fame choke job.
Sorry. Glenbard West, to talk about that one, what's some lessons you learned from that game? Because I know Glenbard West, they're a top team in the state.
They're good.
There's a chance you could be playing them state tournament, when we get there.
They're good. They're really good. They don't have any holes. A lot of times, in my opinion, we are so good this year because we're kind of the same way. We don't have any holes. But, man, they are a good team. They're basically, if I'm going to be honest, they're just a better version of us.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just so there's 2 teams in the state I can't say with confidence that we're going to beat. It's Marist and Glenbard West.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams are they're just good at every position. They're just so good. They're so big and so physical. But I just think that we show we can play with them. What was the final score, 26-24?
I think it was 26-24 in the second set, yeah.
We show we can hang with them. Like, for a team that big and talented and just awesome at volleyball, and to be honest, that might have been the worst match I've played all year.
Yeah.
Was that game.
You look at that first tournament, Wheaton-Warrenville South tournament, you had no line judges. What was it like playing that? Because I know we're a fast team.
We had no line judges in the second tournament either.
Yeah. So what was that like playing in those? Because I know we kind of are a fast team. We want to keep up the momentum, and holes might not go our way.
It's extremely, extremely weird. And I feel bad for the referees.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's put so much extra pressure on you guys. I mean, and a lot of times the referees we have now are kind of older and, their eyes don't work as fast. But it's really hard to see those micro touches. That's why the line judges are there. I think that's the one change I would have liked to add for the Chicago tournaments was just have 2 volunteer line judges, guys. We did the same thing in our tournament. We just had each team volunteer 1 line judge.
Yeah.
Like,
finished off the Lincoln Way East tournament, and that's one of the things I looked at in the Lincoln Way East tournament was that you guys lost to Lincoln Way West 2 weeks before in 2 sets. You win against them in 2 sets the last tournament. That's kind of one thing I look at as kind of improvement there, because that's a team you're going to possibly play if you guys can get there. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we should have won that game the first time we played them, and I think we showed that we are going to beat them the next time we play them. And it's just, now I will say this, I don't think they brought the same fire and energy. I mean, we were playing for 7th place. I don't think they're really that into it. But
you look at those 2 tournaments. What do you think is the biggest takeaway you take as a team and say, hey, we got to work on this? What's the biggest takeaway?
We just got to bring it. I think we showed that we can hang with every single team in the state. And, I mean, both tournaments, we kind of got unlucky with our first game in the gold bracket, right?
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I think it's a great showing from Belleville East to go up there for the first time in a really long time and just show that, hey, we are one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to see that.
Well, and I think also in that, as you mentioned, that in those 2 tournaments, people started to know who Belleville East was. And
there was a lot of talk, specifically that first tournament, about like, oh my gosh, I mean, this team's awesome.
Yeah, and I think what helped, after the tournament was beating O'Fallon not just once, but twice. Because I remember, when you think of Metro East volleyball, you're thinking of SLU High, you're thinking of O'Fallon. Those are the big 2. You don't really think of Belleville East until now. And you guys get the Southwestern Conference Championship against O'Fallon that second game. What was the emotions? What were you? I mean, what were you experiencing when you got that final point in the second set to bring home that banner? Because I know it had to be just craziness.
To be honest with you, I didn't feel that. I mean, job's not finished.
Okay.
Like we still have 1 more game to play against them. I'll be excited after we're in state. That's when I'll be excited. Right now, I'm trying my best to just stay right here. For me, it almost felt like it was kind of just deserved. Like I was not super excited about it, mainly because there was not a doubt in my mind that we were going to win that match. Yeah. I could not be excited because it was something that like we should have won that match. It wasn't like a 50-50 game where it's like, oh, who's going to win? In my opinion, I was like, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to win this match. And I know a lot. I mean, everyone else was really excited for me. I think I might have been the only person to feel that way. But I was like, we got 1 more game to play, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was my first thought.
We look at the playoffs now. You're able to get Father Give Me on Tuesday, and now you have Belleville West once again for the 3rd time in the regional championship. You played them twice before. What do you know about them? Because I know they're a tough team. They've been red hot the last few weeks.
They get after it.
Yeah.
They really do. I mean, I watched them play against Collinsville last night. I think they were down 8-0 in the first set or something crazy, and they came back and won 25-16 the first set.
And they ran through the second set too.
It just, they don't give up. They work hard. They're really good at the net. They're good at blocking. They're good at attacking. We're gonna beat them from the service line tomorrow. I think that's why the last 2 times they've kind of struggled to hang with us is our service pressure is kind of elite.
Yeah, you mentioned, so if you get past West, you're most likely going to play O'Fallon in the sectional semifinal. We've been talking about it. How do you make it 3 straight wins? Because that's the mindset in their minds right now. Because last year it was us, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. They're thinking the same thing now. How do you make it 3 straight wins and keep that a season live for another few days?
Just keep playing volleyball. We're better than them at volleyball, and we're going to win if we play good volleyball. They, in my opinion, they try their hardest to get in our heads, and specifically this year, our mental fortitude is just so elite. And it almost seems like it's kind of hurting them because we're so unfazed by them. We're not giving them the time of day. It's kind of almost mentally defeating them.
As we finish out these last few games in the postseason, has the feeling of you playing your last game in a Lancer uniform set in for you yet?
Not really. It doesn't feel real yet. It doesn't even feel real that we had our last home game already.
Yeah.
Like it still just feels like we have so much more volleyball left to play. I want to play for as long as possible. I'm planning on playing 6 more games.
What's your favorite moment as a Lancer? I'm sure your favorite moment of the season is probably beating O'Fallon twice, but what's your favorite moment overall as a Lancer?
I have two.
Okay.
My first favorite moment was my sophomore. These are both from my sophomore year.
Okay.
My sophomore year, we came back down 24-19 and came back to beat Eureka
Yes.
in 3 and win the Volley for Cure match. That was one of the most insane and memorable volleyball experiences of my entire life. I will never forget that moment.
Yeah.
And my second was probably the sectional semifinal game against O'Fallon my sophomore year. My first swing of the match, I hit Cam Sheehan in the face on a swing. I hit the off blocker in the face. And that's when I was like, we came to play today.
Yeah. Finish this one off. Out of all your time here at Belleville East, what is something that you'll take away from all of this and remember for the rest of your life? That's why we end on a loaded question like this.
I think it's gonna be kind of a long answer. There's a few things I'd like to take away from this, but I'm so thankful for my coaches over my time here at Belleville East. Nesbitt specifically and Coach Riley, they've just helped me so much as a player. They've given me I already have a lot of confidence, but they've given me even more. Just the amount of trust they give me to go out there and do my thing. And I mean, I'll make errors. I'm human, you know what I mean? But they trust me to still go out there and still score and still perform at a high level. And it just really has kind of fortified me as a player and put a lot of trust. Like, I feel very trust in myself. That's kind of a weird way to say it. But
yeah.
I feel very just like I got this now, mainly because of them. And just, I would say, I mean, especially my time here at Belleville East, it just helped me develop the mentality of a Belleville East athlete. Just having that constant grit and grind mentality, just playing tenacious, playing like it's your last game, no matter what. That's kind of what's transformed me as a player, is just playing like a bat out of hell. Just going after it full throttle every single point. And that's really what, I mean, that's one of the first things that Coach Don from Damon has said about me. It was just my mentality as a player is really what helped like me be recruited. It just, my time here at Belleville East has been I'm so thankful for it. And I'm really sad to see it go, but this has been one of the best experiences of my life when it comes to volleyball. Just the faith and trust that people put in me. I feel so confident as a player knowing that like all the people surround me, they trust me to go out there. What's up, guys? Moved to the phone because the camera died. But no, I was just saying that it's been really helpful for my time at Belleville East. I'm super thankful for it, and I'm so grateful for my coaches and all my teammates that have helped me as a player over my last 3-4 years of playing Belleville East. I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you guys, and I'm so thankful for you guys.
Well, August, thanks for taking time to join. Good luck these rest of the weeks. I mean, I'm hoping you guys bring a state title home. That's what I'm hoping for. That'd be what I would love to end on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Steven.